Hello everyone. Today let's solve the problem number 46, permutations, right? So what the question states here, we are given the array nums. See here, we are given the array nums containing the unique integers. All the integers are unique here, right? So we need to find all the possible permutations, right? When I said all different, this one or all possible permutations, we are speaking of the different arrangements. That's it, of the particular numbers that they have, nothing but the elements that is present in the array, right? So we need to find all the possible permutations of these numbers. The result can be in any order, so order doesn't matter again, right? So the result can be of any order. So let's go with a simple approach. Let's go with a yeah, let's directly go with the approach itself. Before that, see here, for the 1 2 3, all the different arrangements are 1 2 3, 1 3 2, 2 1 3, 2 3 1, 3 1 2, and 3 2 1. These are the 6 possible permutations, right? So for the second one here, this is 0 1. For the 0 1, it is 0 1 or 1 0. For the this one 1, there is only one this one permutation, nothing but 1, right? So uh, they have given us wonderful examples just for the sake of understanding. Let's go with a simple approach, man. This one, let's consider this one, right? So the first example, I'll just come here, just 1 second. So before that, let me tell you one thing. Just give me a second here. 1 second. Yeah, we will be going with a backtracking approach. Again, I want to tell, we will be going with a backtracking approach, right? So just keep this in mind. So let's consider first example here, the same example. We have the elements 1, 2, and 3 within the array. So first, always we will start with the empty path, and let's check all the available numbers, right? So first, always we will go with the empty path. Just remember this one, right? So this is fine. Empty path, all the and then we'll check for all the available numbers. All the available numbers are 1, 2, 3, right? So first, what we will do, first we will pick one, right? So now this one we will pick one, the array becomes 1, right? So the path becomes 1 and the available is 1 2 3, right? Available is 2 3 basically, sorry. Yeah, now we will pick 2, so the available is 3, right? So then we will pick 3, right? So the path becomes 1 2 3 and full permutation found. So this one we will be adding this one to the result. First we'll pick 1, path becomes 1, available will be 2 3, and then we will pick 2, path will be 1 2, and the available will be 3. So we will be going with path 1 2. Next we will pick 3, the path will be 1 2 3, full permutations is found, permutation is found here. Then we'll add that one to the result. So we will backtrack. Now what we will do, so as I said, we'll be going with the backtrack or the recursion. So backtrack basically uses the recursion itself, right? So as we are going with the backtrack, we will be removing 3. So we will remove 3. So next we will try next option at the previous level, right? So we will be repeating this one until all the choices are tried. So this basically results in generating 1 3 2. So I showed you for the 1 2 3, same goes with this one as well, 1 3 2, similar step, right? So this one will be 2 1 3. So next one will be 2 3 1. This one will be 2 3 1. Next will be 3 1 2. So this one will be 3 1 2, and the final one would be 3 2 1. 3 2 1. So this is the output that we get, right? So after generating all the permutations, right? So the output that we got here is this one, 1 2 3 1 3 2, 1 2 3 1 3 2. Next one 2 1 3, this is also fine. Next one 2 3 1, this is also fine. Next one 3 1 2, this is also fine. Next one 3 2 1, this is also fine, right? So the output that we got here has this one, which is equivalent to the output that they have shown for the example one within the question. So our approach works absolutely correct, right? So backtracking works absolutely perfect for this problem. Basically, for the permutation and the combination problems, set of problems including the permutation and combination, it's better to go with the backtrack most of the times, right? So it's better to go with the backtrack or the recursion, right? So we are done with this part. As we are completely familiar with the approach, let's discuss the complexities soon. So what will be the time complexity here? The time complexity would be big O of n into n factorial. So why it is n into n factorial here? because n factorial permutations we will be considering, right? Each taking big of n to build. So overall time complexity would be big of n into n factorial. First thing here, we'll be considering n factorial permutations, right? Each taking big of n to build. So overall time complexity would lead to big of n into n factorial, right? So this is fine. So what would be the space complexity here? Space complexity would be big of n, because we are going with the backtracking, and backtracking uses recursion, and recursion depth can go up to big of n, right? So recursion depth along with a boolean used array. So we'll be making this one use of boolean used array. That we'll get to know when we write the this one code basically. So this here will be making use of the backtracking, and backtracking uses recursion, and the recursion depth can go up to big of n. So overall space complexity would be big of n. So the time complexity and the space complexity for the code that we'll be writing in the future would be big of n into n factorial and big of n respectively, right? So we are done with the this one, what do we call, complexities part as well. Now as we are completely familiar with the complexities and the approach, we are good to write the code. Let's start writing the code. So the first step here would be, let's create a list to store all the permutations. So this one will be list of this one will be integer. This is fine. So let me come here, let me give capital I here. This is fine. So this one will be result equals new array list. This is also fine, man. Next, after creating the list to store all the permutations, let's go with the temporary list to hold the current permutation path, right? So we have to hold the current permutation path, right? So for that one, let's make use of the temporary list. I'll just go with the list. So this one will be integer. So again, I have to give capital I here. This is fine. This will be path equals, let me assign this one to new array list. So this is also fine. Next, let's go with the boolean array just to track the used element. So we had discussed this one in the complexities part, right? When discussing the space complexity. So I said we'll be making use of the used array. Basically, we are making use of the used array to track the used element. So this one will be new. As I've said, this will be boolean of, we have to pass length of the numbers, nothing but nums, right? So this is fine. Now we have to perform the backtracking, or we have to start the backtracking from an empty path. So let's not write the backtracking part here itself. Let's do one thing. Let's make use of the backtrack, this one helper method, and then we can make use of it within the main permute main function, or the main method permute, right? So let's do one thing. Let me quickly write the helper method here. Void backtrack. This is fine. So this one will be int uh, nums. So this one will be boolean used. So this one will be list integer. This is also fine. Let me go with capital I here. Again, list of integer, we are considering the path parameter. Also we have to go with the result variable. We have to store this one, right? So let me go with 1 second here. Did I miss something? No, right? So we just have to go with a result variable. So I'll just go with list. So within this list, I'll go with a integer. So whenever I'm typing integer with a capital I, this remains, first time this remains small I itself. I don't know why. This is fine. This is res result variable. So this is fine. So the first step within the backtrack, this one helper method is, if the path contains all the numbers, we have to add a copy of that to the result. So that's what we discussed in the approach as well, right? So the first step was, if path contains all the numbers, then we have to add a copy to the result. First we took this one path 1 2 3 1 first we took, then we took the path 1 2, then we took the path 1 2 3. So basically all the numbers were present, we considered that one and added to the result. Same thing, if the path contains all the numbers, then we have to add a copy to the result. So let me write the code. Let's consider simple if condition here. This one will be path dot size, this one equals length of the nums, then we have to add a new list to avoid the reference issues. Means here this one will be result dot add new array list. So this one will be path. This is fine. So we have successfully added a new list to avoid the reference issues, right? So now what we will do, we will return. We don't have to return anything. I'll just mention the return keyword here. So this is fine. Now let's try each unused number at current position. So this is the real backtracking, right? So this is the real backtracking. We have to try each unused number at the current position. Then we have to add the iterated value of the nums to current path. Further, we have to explore the further with the same particular choice, right? So this is real backtracking actually. First, let's try each unused number at current position. So here, let me go with simple for loop int I equals 0, I less than length of the nums. Let me increment the I. So within the for loop, so we have to skip if it is already used, if the numbers are already used, basically nothing but a simple if condition. If iterated value of the used of I, then we have to skip. For skipping, I'll just make use of the continue keyword that the Java provides. So this is fine. So next, let's choose. Means here, let's add the iterated value of the nums to the current path. Means path of nothing but path dot add of nums of I, iterated value of the nums. So finally, let's go with the iterated value of the used. Let me assign this one to true. This is fine as well. Now let's do one thing. Let's explore further with this choice, right? So we will be going with a recursion, right? So let me go with a backtrack. So we have to explore further with this choice. If you remember, I considered 1, 2, 3, and then I said we will be exploring the same, right? So we have to explore similarly. We will be exploring further with the particular same choice, right? So similar choice basically. Now I'll just pass nums here used. Let me go with path and let me go with result, right? So this is fine. So finally we have to unchoose, means we have to remove the iterated value of the nums and mark that one as unused, nothing but we have to backtrack. So let me go with path dot remove here, path dot remove. So we have to remove the nums of I, right? So uh this one, let me go with path dot size here, path dot size minus 1. This is fine. Finally, we have, after removing the iterated value of the nums, we have to mark the unused, nothing but we have to backtrack, right? So we have to mark unused, nothing but here we have made use of the used keyword, iterated value of the used. Let's set this one to the boolean value false, right? So we are done with the this one coding part. So I think did we miss something? No, right? So yeah, we are good with the code, I believe. So now let's make use of the backtrack helper method. Let me copy this one. Let's make use of the backtrack method here within the main permute function, right? So main method. So this one will be backtrack of, we have to pass nums used path, as well as we need the result variable as well, because see, we have to store this one, the number somewhere, right? So and finally we have to return the same thing, a result variable itself. Now we have to return the complete list of permutations. So I'll just go with return result itself here, result variable. So this is fine. We are done with the coding part. This is it, simple, pure backtrack, or the pure recursion here, recursive backtracking. So let me run this one. I hope, yeah. Now the sample test cases are getting passed. So let me hit the submit button. I hope this works for all the test cases, man. Let's see. So here, mm, yep, all the test cases are getting passed, right? So whatever the code that we have written works absolutely correct for all the test cases, right? So I hope the solution part is completely clear, along with the approach and the complexities. For now, this is it. Thanks for watching, guys.